Hello everyone, Musty Hobbit here, and it's time for that first post-move pickup video. We've had a kind of break from content that hasn't been just done on my phone, so I wanted to kind of go through the things that I have sort of picked up after we have moved. You kind of see the nice wall behind me. And I picked up, I actually have a couple of big deals, but the first of which, I had done some videos about PlayStation VR and how much I'm really enjoying it, and a lot of people were calling for me to pick up the aim controller, so I did. I actually got this, I traded in a bunch of, I had like a loose trade box just full of PS2, PS3 games, went to GameStop, ended up breaking even, and they actually paid me 27 cents to take the aim controller off their hands. I've been playing Farpoint with it, and that is the real deal. Absolutely must recommend, and I'm going to give Doom a try as well once I get through Farpoint, which I think I'm on the last kind of major story beat, so I'm excited to kind of wrap that up. The next little bundle of things are actually Nintendo powers. I hit up Half Price Books. We took a trip up there while my wife was out of town, so my son and I went up there. Found him a nice, the new like Legendary Defender Black Lion for Voltron, the Netflix show, if you've watched that at all. So we'll eventually be getting all of them, but I had a good price on that one, so I had to pick that up. But then I saw a stack of 10 Nintendo powers, all 2009, 2011 era. So newer, but at $3 a piece. It's a pretty good deal. I made sure to check with one of my buddies, Curtis, who is collecting Nintendo powers, looking for an entire set. And so he said, yes, $3 all day. Absolutely. I don't know how much is missing. These are subscriber versions, and so there's a little perforated section. See how much clearer it is. So a little perforated section where the address was. Whoever this was, or maybe Half Price Books has removed those sections. Oh well. But we have issue 242, Red Steel 2. We have 244, Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. We have 245, which is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles: The Crystal Bearers, which I picked up at Midwest Gaming Classic. 246, which is Avatar. And some big glare here. I haven't had these lights set up in a while. Next is 271. Oh, no, out of order. 263, Mario Sports Mix. And 271, which is Kirby Mass Attack and Kirby Return to Dreamland. 272, which is Super Mario 3D Land. Then we have Mario Kart 7, 273. And Resident Evil Revelation, 274. And Epic Mickey: The Power of Two, 277. So at $3 a piece, pretty good deal there. And I was talking to Curtis, I may send a couple of these his way. We'll kind of figure that out. The rest of what I have is all original Xbox pickups. I've seeing these back on the wall and getting my original Xbox collection kind of back in my face kind of reinvigorated my desire to go get some of the bigger games that are left on that list. Now, I'm not going back to looking for a complete set at this point. However, somebody else's efforts to get a complete set kind of enabled some of this. If you are familiar with VGCollectaholic, Scott, he is a collector extraordinaire, puts anything that I could put up on these walls to shame. And just before Midwest Gaming Classic, if you check his Twitter, go take a look, he bought a wall of games, a wall of Xbox games. He took somebody's collection off of their hands. That person was at about 800 games, I think, at that time. So a huge purchase. And of course, when you buy 800 games all at once, and you already are a big-time collector, you get a ton of doubles, and a ton of important, kind of high-profile, collectible doubles. So, we worked out something. I traded off Gunstar Heroes, was one that I picked up at Portland 2016, and I had it complete. I'm going to get that Sonic... the new Genesis collection on the current systems. So having Gunstar Heroes in cart form really was less appealing to me. So I traded that, and we worked out a price for the rest of it. But I ended up nabbing 5 fairly we'll call them rare games. And by rare, I'm using, if you're at all familiar with, there's a site called rarityguide.com. They have sections for every single console, and they have sort of a speedometer type gauge as far as on a scale of 1 to 100, like how rare a game is. And there are a few things for Xbox that are fairly high. One of them being the Steel Battalion controller and game. I have that already. That is at a 96. The next highest item on that list at a 91 is the Grand Theft Auto trilogy. So this, if you're all familiar, there is the Grand Theft Auto double pack, which is this sort of silvery one. This one has all 3 Grand Theft Autos in a nice, a great kind of display here. Each of them expands out. It has both the map and the manual, and then the discs specifically have trilogy branding on it. I'll see if we can grab that. The trilogy right there. So if you're going after something like this, keep that in mind. And again, the artwork on this is great. They've always done wonderful things with the map and the manuals in these, but it's all in here, and it's kind of great to have it all in one big set. But this is according to that site, it is the second rarest thing that you can find on the original Xbox. So I had to include that as part of this set. Next up in that is, shocking, Barbie Horse Adventures, Wild Horse Rescue. This is at 83 on that chart. So I grabbed it. It's complete. It's silly. I think I watched a Let's Play of it, not the whole thing, just like kind of intro to kind of get a feel for what I might be getting myself into. And oh well. The next up, and I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head. I know that everything here is in that 80 plus range, but the next one I grabbed is Worms 4 Mayhem, which is one of the 3D Worms games. I feel like the series looks like a lot of fun, and again, it's too bad we don't have online anymore, because you could play that on Xbox Live at the time. This one has been on my list for a long time. I've been looking at it for a few conventions, and that is Stubbs the Zombie, in wonderful shape. Manual's in good shape as well. I fired this up. Soundtrack is awesome, as you would expect. It's set in like the 50s, so it has a lot of thematic music from that era. But yeah, really cool. And then the last one that was part of that trade with Scott was Futurama. So again, wonderful shape, and again, another one. I think this is 80 on that scale as well. So all in all, that is a mega trade from an Xbox collector standpoint. I'm happy to have knocked a lot of those off. There's a few that I'm looking at that list and kind of saying, let me start to prioritize those. As we continue to see more Xbox titles get added to backwards compatibility, I feel like it kind of adds a little bit more emphasis to those who want physical copies to go get them. And so that's why I'm getting on top of it, I'm staying in front of it. And I did that one other time. I had another big trade at, not at my GameStop, but at my local game shop. And that was for a copy of Teen Titans, which again, another like mega hit for from a collecting standpoint, slightly higher dollar. There's not a ton of expensive Xbox games, but there's one of them. There's another one of them. Jurassic Park is another one of those. And so I knocked out a lot of heavy hitters here, which feels really, really good. And again, I did most of it through trade, either to game shops or to Scott. And wow, I nearly forgot one of the other most important things about this whole little set of pickups is that I picked up managed to get the Pound HDMI adapter for the original Xbox. So again, this plugs into the system itself, and then you plug in an HDMI cord into this. I have given this a little test drive, but I haven't really put anything through its paces yet. But everyone who has had one and has said great things about it, so I figured it was worth the pickup. If I'm going to be leaning more into Xbox, I would certainly like to be able to capture things as easy as possible, and this was a way that I could do that. So grab this too. Next pickup video, I don't know when that's happening. C3, our Chicago Cartridge Con, is happening in a couple weeks. I actually know that I will be coming back with some things off of that. It's not really a convention trade type event necessarily, but there will be people who are working out deals and things like that. If you are in the area, if you're planning on going, we do have some festivities planned for Saturday between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. at the Hilton in Skokie, Illinois. If you're going to be there, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I'd be good to see you if you can drop by. We have some fun festivities planned, a few live podcasts and some other things. For example, we are going to have a Street Fighter II tournament. The semifinals and finals will take place during that time on Saturday. So we're interested in knowing who's interested in being part of that tournament. That should be a lot of fun. Oh, and to address the other elephant in the room, I did get my hair cut, and I didn't lose a bet. I did this on purpose. I felt I needed a change. It's been super ridiculously hot, and I'm just carrying around this animal worth of hair. It's a look that I'm pretty happy with. So, interested to hear your thoughts on these Xbox pickups, on the haircut. If you're coming to C3, let me know in the comments. It's great to be back in front of the camera again. I'm going to be trying to get this momentum back now that the room is coming together. So some of the major items that I need for the room are actually on their way. I decided to have them shipped instead of waiting until Chicago to get those items. So hopefully we can get this room wrapped up sooner than later, and we can kind of move on with the content, because I don't know, I feel like I miss you guys. I hope you miss me too. Anyways, I'm gonna stop there. Thank you for coming by. I have been Musty. Take care of yourself. Be good to each other.